Hello everyone, this is Ben, I'm right here, and I am once again back with yet another, Sherlock X story. Though this is not a Sherlock X reader, this, my friend, is a John X reader. This is a two-parter. The two-parter consists of, and the title is simply Blind Date, and I simply just wanted to do this because I thought it'd be super cute if Sherlock were to do this for John. Also, credit to White Paint, aka Rose Paint, on Twitter for making this absolutely gorgeous fan art that I'm showing in the video. I will credit her down below. I'll send a link to her to Twitter. Because seriously, guys, she is so amazing. Like, give her some love for the love of God, because she is amazing. She's the sweetest thing. So, thank you so much, Rose Paint, for doing this. This is such stellar work, and I would love to keep supporting you. So feel free to go check her out. Anyway, guys, this is simply titled Blind Date, and let's get started. Sherlock, I'm not sure if this is a good idea. John was adjusting his jumper while Sherlock was pacing behind him. John, you have been searching for a date for a bit. I know this girl very well. I think you both will get along. Does she keep heads in fridges and eyeballs and microwaves? Sherlock cracked a very subtle smile. No, this girl's average, like you. John sighed and felt his heart race as he grabbed his black keys and taking his leave. You were applying the last of your makeup while Molly was picking out a dress for you. I don't know, Molly. I'm not a big fan of being social. Oh, don't worry your name. This bloke is quite nice. He has trouble dating, though, because of his flatmate. Yeah, I'm still worried. She giggled and handed you the dress to quickly change into. When you got out, Molly glowed and put a purple flower barrette in your hair. You looked in the mirror and smiled at how the dress looked on you. Molly knew you loved that dress, but you just never got the chance to wear it for anything super special. So she saw this as the perfect chance to wow both you and John. You put on your shoes and grabbed your purse before grabbing Molly and hailing a cabbie at the restaurant. John was dwindling his thumbs while Sherlock was standing behind him. John had made a reservation for a rather classy restaurant, as he was told that by Sherlock that this girl liked to be treated like a queen. John didn't have much of a clue about her previous partners, but he did know that this was a blind date, this blind date was apparently arranged to help both John and this girl bounce back from their previous partners. John, will you calm down? No, you've never been on a blind date before. How the hell am I supposed to know whether this is some bloody experiment or whether you're setting me up with a serial killer? John, some people glanced over in John and Sherlock's direction. John sighed and whispered, Can I at least get a name off of you? No. John groaned. At that moment, a woman stepped into the restaurant with Molly by her side. John looked over and felt his throat go dry. She wore the most stunning dress while he was in a mere knit jumper. He felt his heart jump as she said, I'm here to see John Watson? The waitress nodded and led you and Molly over to the table. She walked over and met her eyes with John. He slowly smiled. He slowly stood up and smiled. Hello there. Might I ask for your name? Were you not just told? No. Thanks to Sherlock Holmes. He turned around and just saw Sherlock tapping away on his phone. He giggled. I'm your name. Your name, last name. That's a lovely name. You blushed. So is John Watson. Oh, please, both are rather common. Yes, but aren't they common for a reason? He chuckled. They both looked around, only to see that Sherlock and Molly had disappeared. Just at that moment, you both received a text. Hope you both have a lovely evening. Signed, S.H. How did he get my number? He's Sherlock. He always finds a way. You both took a seat, and you were struggling to find something to eat. Apart from the fact that some of the dishes had the most obscure names that no human could decipher, you noticed just how expensive some of the dishes were. John noticed you gripping the menu with strength that great enough to choke someone and grew concerned. Are you all right there, your name? You were snapped out of trance and quickly Trance a panic and quickly went for an excuse. Yes, of course. I just noticed how expensive these dishes were. Well, it'd be a crime to take you out for coffee. And why is that? Because I think both of us can agree that you are worth more than a cup of coffee. Besides, most of my dates never last a week because they hate my flatmate Sherlock, or they think that he and I are a couple. You giggled and snorted a little. John and a few other people looked over at you with questioning faces. First of all, I think it's sweet that you think I'm worth more than a cup of coffee. Not many men or even women think that way for one another. Secondly, while your flatmate strikes me as bizarre, you both seem like good friends. You may not love each other in that way, but I'm sure he cares if he's willing to set you up on a blind date. Besides, he could have set you up with some sort of serial killer, but he didn't, because he cares. John stared at you in shock. No one had ever thought of him in Sherlock like that. So the fact that you were so open-minded was almost alien to him. He then broke into a chuckle. I definitely think the both of us are going to get along very perfectly. You smiled and felt a warm heat spread across your face. You took your glass of champagne and offered a toast. A toast to new friends. He toasted with you and you both ordered. Despite what he said, you still tried to find something cheaper to eat. As you both ate, you noticed he kept glancing at you. For whatever reason was beyond you. But you paid no mind to it. After all, it was probably all credit to the makeup and the dress. But by the time you got ready to pay the bill, John was just staring at you, lost in thought. John? Oh, sorry. He looked away and blushed. You giggled. No problem. It's probably just the makeup and the dress. No. It's just that. You were puzzled by this. I was just thinking about how beautiful you must look underneath all that makeup. Well, yes, the dress and makeup makes you look absolutely stunning. I want to see the real beauty. You flushed a deep scarlet and smiled. Check. You then slammed down the money for the bill and left a generous tip before taking John outside. You grabbed his hand and led him to a park, the moon lighting your way. You stopped over at a big tree. John, you said, your back facing him. Yes? You smiled to yourself and turned around. You crushed your lips onto his and gripped his jumper tightly. While John was taken aback by your sudden boldness, he then slowly returned the kiss. He dug his fingers into your waist and you giggled into the kiss. This went on for some time before you both grew lightheaded from the lack of air. You both pulled away and you smiled. Thank you, John. This is the best first date I ever had. Well, I certainly hope it goes past the first. Of course it will. He then smiled and kissed him on the nose and both walked back to your homes. When John reached his flat, he had that goofy smile on his face and Sherlock was in the kitchen. John chuckled over to himself and quickly had Sherlock. Thank you, Sherlock. This is the best first date ever, he said before heading back upstairs to his room. Sherlock smiled to himself. He knew deep down that his little experiment would work. The end. I had made a part 2 for this story, but I really wanted to get this story, the first part, out before anything else. I already have finished the second part, so if you want to go ahead and read that ahead of time, you can, but this part is going to be up first, and I'm not sure how much I'm going to have to record the next part, but, I'm very happy with this piece, and, yeah, and believe me, if you like the first part, then you'll love the second part, because I feel like the second part is just stunning. But you guys know that whole shebang. Anyway, guys, this is Phantom Rider, and I'll be seeing you all very soon. Bye-bye.